Welcome into No Huddle Rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. It is July 2nd. Our Cowboy Christmas rodeos have mostly begun. Even more begin tonight. We are in the heart of the rodeo calendar. Almost a third of the playoff series rodeos will take place in July. 5 or 6 of them taking place this week alone. It is an exciting time, and that makes my job pretty straightforward today here on No Huddle Rodeo. We are just running through some results of the rodeos that have already begun, and some of the biggest ones have already begun. We're talking Cody Stampede. We're talking St. Paul Rodeo. We're talking Livingston Roundup Rodeo. Tomorrow on No Huddle Rodeo, we're adding in all of the other rodeos that start. So that's Red Lodge, Mandan, Killdeer, Belfouche, just to name a few off the top of my head. Sorry if you were excluded. I don't mean any offense by it. I'm just trying to keep this train moving. So, all that being said, we're coming to you live from Fort Worth, Texas, in our studio here in the Fort Worth Stockyards. We are furnished by Runyon's Fine Furniture, also brought to you in part by Justin Boots. And again, my job is easy. My job is straightforward. I'm just bringing you the results today, bring you the biggest results. It would be impossible to do all of these in one 10-minute show. So we're just talking the most relevant results from last night, July 1st in Pro Rodeo. We're going out to the Cody Stampede first in the team roping, and Cody Snow getting it done at the Cody Stampede along with his partner Hunter Koch. They were 4-3 last night. Put up a really good score on the board. 4-2 won that rodeo last year. 4-3 would have been second last year. Both first and second, though, pay over $6,000 at the Cody Stampede. It is a one-header. Remember that. So they have put a score up on the board, and this team roping might get really fast trying to beat it. So that'll be something to watch because, again, obviously, if someone beats it at a one-header, we're only getting faster and faster there. But $6,000, extra important in a pretty jam-packed team roping right now. They're number 13. Snow is 13. Koch is number 12 in the world. So if you can guarantee at least $6,000, hopefully checks other places too, maybe make it a $10,000, $15,000 week in the team roping, that'll go a long way. That'll stretch a little further than every other event right now. Again, just because of the nature of how tight the team roping is. Steer wrestling the same across the board. In the saddle bronc riding, pair of 86.5-point rides from two guys in the top 10, the number 4 man in the world, Sage Newman, number 10 man in the world, and a Wyoming native, Brody Wells, getting it done in his home state. Took 89.5 to win that rodeo last year, so 86.5, it has a chance. We've seen 86, 86.5, 87 win rodeos like this before, but again, probably guarantees them at least a check, and probably a big check, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 at minimum for those guys who already in a good position, both of them in the top 10. And then in the bull riding, Trevor Rice, 88 points there after a 7th place finish in the X-Bulls the night before. And this is important in Cody, 87.5, won it last year. He's number 34 in the world, but has not gotten on very many bulls. So that could very well hold up. That could very well pay him $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. Maybe there's a little ground money in there. He makes $12,000, rides a couple bulls other places. I am officially putting Trevor Rice on watch to be one of our big jumpers. I mentioned it earlier this week on both the Morning Kick and the No Huddle Rodeo. There will be someone in some event, likely bull riding or a timed event, who jumps 25 places in the world standings over the next week or two. Again, Trevor Rice just made his first NFR in several years last year. Took some time off because he was hurt, but he has been good when he has been healthy this year. So putting that on notice. Next, we're going over to St. Paul. Starting in Wyoming. We're going over to Oregon. Really unique rodeo in St. Paul. I wrote about both St. Paul and Cody, previews of that on uscowboy.com if you want to get a breakdown of more things to pay attention to. But one of those things to pay attention to was Cade Bruno won the saddle bronc riding last year with 87 points. That would have put him 5th in 2023 in St. Paul. And that's interesting because the leading scorer in the first perf is Lefty Holman at 86 points. And so we will see, based on recent history in St. Paul, almost impossible to predict. That score could be second or third place, could even win. That score could be seventh or eighth place. And the difference between that and St. Paul, it is a wide gulf. You're looking at 13K to the winner and 2K for eighth place. So huge difference there. And Lefty Holman, like the team ropers I talked about, he's number 14 in the world. So we will see if he can really gas it. Last year at this time, he jumped to number 2 in the world, had a great Cowboy Christmas. You start with an 86-point ride, may not win the rodeo, but it will definitely set you up for a good start, a solid check there in St. Paul. Probably the most interesting thing that happened yesterday in St. Paul, Marty Yates on his 2 tie-down roping runs, 8-4 and 7-9. He's 16-3 on 2. Last year, Quade Hyatt won it with 16-8 on 2. So in the first performance, in the first day of this rodeo, Marty Yates has already put up a better 2-head time than what won it last year. It's the second fastest 2-head time in the last 5 years in St. Paul. The only one better, Haven Medget's 15-9. I almost said 15-19. And also interesting, we have seen times, 2-head times in the 15s win St. Paul in recent years, and times as high as the mid-18s. So 16-3, Marty Yates, who is now number 5 in the world. He said, come and get me. We will see if anyone can do it, but that's got a really, really good shot of holding up. He's doing well in both the rounds, obviously, too. That could be a huge payday for Marty Yates. And Marty Yates is a guy who was quietly in Pecos and at the Snake River Stampede in Nampa. He has made tons of money in the past 2 weeks, and I'm supposed to be the one who knows these things, but Marty Yates has gone from number 19 to number 5 in the world in the last 2 weeks. Very, very quietly, he's done that in a win in St. Paul. He could be right up there, 3-4 in the world. I mean, he has been as hot as anybody. Him and Riley Webb, 2 hottest tie-down ropers in the world right now. And again, Marty Yates kind of quietly up 14 spots in the world standings in about 14 days. We're going to shift over to Livingston. And in Livingston, there's 2 really big stories. I will start, well, actually there's 3. So we'll go through all of them, but I'll start with the first one on my agenda. Jess Pope and Will Loomis, a pair of Reno winners in some pretty good spots right now. Pope 86.5, 86 points, won this rodeo last year. He's been so solid in Reno. I wrote about it. They wrote about it on prorodeo.com. 14 of his last 15 rides have been 82 points or better, and more than half of those have been between 84 and 87 points. So just staying solid, winning checks. He's in the top 5. Will Loomis, 4 flat, tied with Don Payne for the lead right now in Livingston. He was 4-2 there a year ago. That got him a 3rd place check. 3-5 is what won it a year ago. And that's a check worth about $5,000 if you win that rodeo there. And then we've also got the Wright family. That's story number 2 from Livingston. Ryder, 86.5. He's number 1 in the world. He leads the saddle bronc riding. And Stetson Wright, another 90-point ride. He has more 90-point rides in the last 12 days than probably any other bull rider will have for the entire season. That is something to track right now, is how many 90-point rides does Stetson have between June 19th and July 5th? Because I don't have it in front of me. I should have looked this up ahead of time. I'm sorry. I think it's 4 or 5. He was 91.5 last night. So I think it's 5. I'm going 5 as the official answer. I should know that. 5 since the Reno Expos. But another one, 91.5 in Livingston last night. He just recently got to number 1 in the world. I think that's going to hold up and win there. Lastly, and the last thing I have for you is in the tie-down roping in Livingston. This blew my mind. 8 seconds flat won it last year. Already through 1 day of action at the Livingston Roundup Rodeo, 9 times better than 8 flat. 9 times in the 7s yesterday between the slack and the perf. It is Buck Calhoun in first at 7-2. Right behind him, a couple of names you may recognize, Shane Hanchey and Shad Mayfield. Ryan Jarrett in the mix there as well. Zach Youngblood in the mix there as well. John Douch. Really, really good tie-down roping in Livingston. So that is No Huddle Rodeo today. I hope these 10 minutes made you a little bit smarter, helped you get through the chaos of Cowboy Christmas. That is what we are here to do. We'll be back doing it tomorrow as well. Tune into that for No Huddle Rodeo in the afternoon. Tune into the morning kick. We're doing a little ode to the Calgary Stampede on the morning kick. Fun time on the calendar. A lot of action. Same thing tomorrow on No Huddle Rodeo, just breaking down the biggest stories of Cowboy Christmas. Thank you to Runyons. Thank you to Justin Boots. And thank you for joining us today on No Huddle Rodeo on the US Cowboy YouTube.